Hey, we are live. Apologize for being a little tardy, everybody. That's on me. But y'all feel free, hit that like on the way in. Let me know who's watching. Haven't done one of these in like a month, and I'm excited to have my good friend Rawhide Media. We're gonna try this film room tag team and see how it goes. How you doing today, Rawhide?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Man, I'm doing just fine. Beautiful day out here in Colorado. It's like 60 and just sunny. Beautiful fall day. And man, I got to say, man, I loved chopping it up with you yesterday. That was I needed those laughs, man. I needed
Yeah,
those laughs. I appreciate it.
exactly, bro. It was I enjoyed that. I really did, bro. Honestly, man, I enjoyed every time I come on with you, bro. Man, you do an excellent job.
Well, I'm excited to try something different. It's been a while since I've taken a look at the all 22 for any of our opponents, and didn't have a lot of tape on Washington State from last year. But I thought, we'll see how far we get today, see how this goes, see if we want to do a part two later on before our Friday night matchup. But went ahead and picked out some plays from both the Washington State offense last week, or from last year, and the Washington State defense. Thanks again for hopping in the chat, everybody. They do have Washington State has new defensive coordinator and a new offensive coordinator, but their offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle um, comes from Western Kentucky, so still using a lot of those spread concepts. So I think maybe we just start there and see how this thing goes. I picked out like 10 plays. And guys, I mean, if y'all been in on this before, or if this is your first time, just a reminder. I am, a professional YouTube keyboard coach, which means I should not be on any coaching staff, even at the Pop Warner level. But we're going to take a look at some plays. We're going to learn some things together. At the end of the day, just what I want you to take away from these plays is just some basic football things of like playing the numbers game, understanding how motion can or pulling guards can create holes or opportunities for the offense, to take advantage of things, or, how certain looks on defense, can frustrate a fantastic quarterback like Cam Ward. So, this is going to be a fun matchup, I think, Rawhide, because I think a lot of the things that Colorado does, Wazoo does that as well. And
Hmm.
so both of these teams should be familiar with a lot of the looks that they're getting, from each other's offenses. Anything to add or to say about this matchup before we dive in and have some fun?
Oh, you kind of touched on it. I think this is honestly, I think it's going to be kind of like these teams looking themselves in the mirror from the offensive side of the ball. So uh, it should be an interesting game. But Cam Ward, I got one question. I heard them talking about how Cam Ward throws a lot of picks, but I didn't even notice a lot of picks in his stats. Did you hear him talk about that? I think it was Amari McNeil in his interview.
Oh, I haven't listened to Amari McNeil yet, so
Yeah.
you beat me to it. But
Okay.
I think he does turn the ball over, time to time. But he's got 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No, that's
Shador's
not too
got
bad at all.
4.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But Giggity coming in here saying he leads the nation in fumbling, and
Yeah.
we like to knock that ball loose now. So that could be a great opportunity for our defense. But we'll go ahead and dive in and see how this thing goes.
Right.
Guys,
Right.
just so you know, I because I opened the StreamYard, I control the comments, so I won't be able to see them as I'm sharing my screen with these plays. So Rawhide, if there's anything interesting that anybody's saying, feel free to bring it up. But nonetheless, y'all just be patient. We'll get to your comments as we get to this whole thing. I think this is the right one that I want to share. So hopefully you guys can see this okay. Yeah, this looks amazing. So some all 22, and guys, like I said, Wazoo does have a different offensive coordinator this year, coming over from Western Kentucky, but still some of these spread concepts, there's a lot of overlap. That's how I see it between what they were doing last year with Cam Ward, what they're doing this year, and let's just get to it. So there's a couple plays that you, some of this will probably feel familiar from a buff standpoint, but you see here, they're opening up with 10 personnel. So we got one running back there, we got 0 tight ends. They're running a guy here, a wide receiver across in motion, and you can see it's a screenplay from the get-go, trying to have somewhat of a numbers advantage. If you weren't running this guy across, and you got 3 defenders on 1 blocker, if they can just make this, if this wide receiver can just make one of these guys miss, then it's a big play. As you can see here, Cam Ward does a great job of leading the wide receiver, in which he's able to make that miss happen from that one defender, and he's able to make a big time play with it. And with CU, man, we run a lot of those screens too throughout the year. So this is something that our defense is familiar with, but you got to imagine that they're going to try and work this quick passing game as well. And Rawhide, as I keep going again, just feel free to interject with anything that pops up. But I was going to go over to this next play, actually, this second play, and you can see here, they do kind of this double stack again with these wide receivers out wide. Again, playing some more numbers games. And I think they throw this screen over to the left. Yeah, but you can see here, again, they got the one blocker on the defender. Everybody else in the secondary is quite a bit of ways away from this screenplay right here. So again, if he can get past this first block, this is an opportunity for him to gain a lot of yardage, but the defender breaks this up pretty well. And it's not a huge gain like the last play. And sorry, I just realized I was running this on like super fast playback speed. I had to watch through a lot this afternoon on my lunch, Rawhide.
Leaving our guys out there on the island with a guy like that and their tackling ability, that I think Alpha kind of mentioned it. You had a gentleman mention does a bunch of double moves. I'm worried about Travis coming to do the experience sometime gambling.
Yep.
I mean, that could come up and be a problem. I think I would also echo those sentiments. Kamani out there making a tackle in open space. As a matter of fact, I think Colorado has had some issues with tackling in open space. So
we saw that last week.
Right. That's a good opportunity, for Washington State to make some plays. But it depends on who's. I mean, like I said, I think Amarion Cooper does the best open field tackling. It'd be a great game for him. But who knows who we're gonna have out there playing at the cornerback position? I'm kind of worried about that.
Yeah, it's going to be important for us to wrap up. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, open field tackling. Yeah.
With this quick passing game for sure. And, we're going up against another really good quarterback this week. As usual right now in this last year of the Pac-12. Let me find this next play, which kind of highlights just Cam Ward's ability here. This is the end of this isn't it, but nonetheless, nice little throw right there.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, also, in addition to that, we lean heavy on our defensive backs for a lot of tackling. And I think that's what you were going with it about Cam Ward running with the ball.
Yes.
If those guys are looking in the backfield, that could be some issues also. Trying to pay attention to where Cam Ward's going in addition to, making plays on those shifty receivers out there.
No doubt. That's going to be one of the keys to this game, and containing Cam Ward as well. They kind of missed the beginning of this play, but it's 1st and 10. This is against Wisconsin. And this is just a great throw by Cam Ward. Again, there's a little fake to this running back pitch right here. And, man, you can probably see it better on the next angle. But the way that this play design is designed is a way – sorry, let me start over. This play design is designed in a way to get this tight end open downfield. And Cam Ward just puts this thing on the money right there in between two defenders. And the tight end just makes a big time play here. And yeah, this is something that we're going to have to be very solid in coverage against because, this route over here kind of keeps this safety frozen for just a minute. And, maybe like Noah Fafita, for instance, doesn't have, last week he didn't have the accuracy to really make these types of throws in these windows. See it right here as well. Just designed well with having those two crossing routes, but he puts this thing on the money. Our secondary is going to have to be really disciplined and understand coverages and kind of honestly, where these plays are designed to go to prevent big time plays like this from happening.
I'm trying to think, who did they play that quarterback was really a running threat this season? Ooh.
I mean, Bo Nix, kind of. He didn't really run a lot, though.
Yeah, he didn't run a lot. But when he did, it was very effective.
Yeah.
That running quarterback can put a big strain on your defense. Now, this particular play that you're watching right here, I like how Wisconsin defended it, right? He just made a good throw, right?
Yeah.
They rushed him well. You know what I'm saying? They kind of kept him in the pocket. He just stepped up and made a good throw. So Wisconsin. Yeah. I don't have that's what you're gonna have to do. How they played that's what I'm looking for, something for CU to do. I think somebody asked in the comments, do you come with 3? No. But I will say I am biased to the fact that I don't think a 3-man rush works in any aspect of football. So I'm just gonna kind of make that blanket statement now. Granted, nothing is 100%, but what I mean is that I'm rarely ever coming with 3.
No doubt.
That's just too much time. Yeah.
No doubt. And what I noticed going through this game earlier today was that Wisconsin had a handful of plays in which they had a spy on Cam Ward. Yeah. So it would be interesting to see. Maybe that's something to pay attention to if our defense does that as well. Is this finally the week to see Demoy Kennedy out there a little bit more with his speed? Who knows? Let me go ahead and find. Let's see, 8:29. Oh, this is the next play that I selected.
Yeah. Run that.
This is great. So this is actually going to be a running play. And you can see what you'll see sometimes with the spread concept. Again, you're going 10 personnel in this instance. You got a running back right here. You got trips to the left. Got a wide receiver over here on the right. Only 5 down linemen, of course. And you're going up against a 5-man box right here. So this is just kind of a simple read for the offense, which is just take what the defense is giving you in some ways. Let's run that ball. Everybody should get a hat on a hat.
You have to be able to run against that box.
Yes. And it's going to be really interesting this week because they don't have the biggest lines either, Washington State and Colorado. So I think that this is really a matchup in which CU could have good success on both sides of the line. But you can see, like, not like the prettiest looking run play when you have that kind of box. But this running back, number 25, I don't think he's with the team this year. He did a good job of bouncing this thing outside and still making a big positive gain. But normally when you got that 5-on-5 type of look, you want to see a nice hole open up for the running back.
Well, and
Yeah,
in addition to that, I mean, that's still a good run. And I think,
yeah, great run.
everything's, I'm saying everything's not going to be real clean, but I just like the fact that they chose to run against that box. A lot of times, I think Colorado has opportunities to run, in light
Mhm.
boxes, and they don't take full advantage of it. I mean, so,
Yes,
as a running back, you got to make a man miss. Let's just be honest about it,
yes.
right? So I think he did an excellent job there making a man miss. But yeah, you got
Yeah.
to go against you got to be able to run the ball against the box. I think some people were saying that Nebraska had a running quarterback.
Oh,
Nebraska
yeah,
quarterback
Jeff
was just,
Sims. I forgot about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, but he wasn't even effective. It's hard to even count that
He
guy.
had no, no arms. So,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
he
and
has an arm. He just couldn't
he,
throw it accurately.
right, and he couldn't grab snap, so it's hard to get anything out of that quarterback. Let's just be honest. And I ain't hating on my man. I mean, he had a terrible game.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. Good play by the running back. But yeah, y'all, this is just little things that as you're watching the game, you can pay attention to, pre-snap, rather than just for the ball, waiting for the ball to be snapped. Take a look yourself. Kind of see what kind of fronts they're getting, how many guys they got in the box.
Mhm.
These sorts of things are just fun to take a look at. Let's see what next play I got here. 11-13. Okay, so this is a 3rd and 10 look. And this is an instance, Rawhide, in which I think we should be able to get pressure this week on Cam Ward. And this is a good instance of like what can happen when we get good pressure. Um, you see, they come out here with an 11 personnel look. So they got a running back and tight end lined up to the right. And this play is actually drawn up really well. So they bring this tight end in motion here. Again, why I like a lot of motion. It just changes last second how these defensive backs are going to cover. And you see it creates kind of this. I couldn't really tell what his first read was. If he's looking here, as this outside wide receiver is kind of turning in on this post, or like this tight end is kind of still running this seam down the middle. But nonetheless, I think it was designed to have this guy come open. But you can see right here, like maybe this is where you throw it. Again, I can't really tell if he's looking at this tight end down here or this wide receiver, but you can see he's getting ready to throw it. But the pressure is there in a way in
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
he's not able to deliver the ball downfield, even though it was
Mhm.
drawn up pretty nicely. I think he had
Mhm.
a couple guys fairly open that would get that first down. But then he has to credit to Cam Ward. I mean, he escapes the pocket and he has
Mhm.
to dump it down to his outlet here, and good open field tackle
Mhm.
from the Wazoo defender.
Mhm. Could you run that right back at the start of the play?
Yeah, you want this angle or the other one?
That angle's fine. That
Okay.
angle's fine there. Okay, I see what they're doing. Yeah, from from a defensive standpoint for Colorado, that's how I'm coming nearly every day, on it nearly every down for Cam at Washington State. Now, obviously, you know what I'm saying, for those special circumstances, but that would basically be my base D right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna go Jordan Dominique, another defensive. I mean, that's not what they're doing. They playing a three. That's a three-man front with two outside linebackers, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So they just got basically what they just got is two rush ends, which is different from the defensive end. But uh, I think you got to come with four, and you got to. I call it a smush rush, basically keep him within the pocket, as you see.
Yep.
But he did a good job, as you said. He escaped. But looking at that overall, Wisconsin was successful on that play from defensive stance. So
Yes.
even though he completed the pass, That's what you want to do to him all game long. Make him step up and make him step up in the pocket.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think we can have a quarterback like him getting outside. Kind of similar to Noah Fafita in a way. Obviously, a different level quarterback, not nearly as good, but um, I thought that we neutralized Fafita pretty good last week by even though we weren't getting much pressure and pressure up front, in the middle for that matter, but we at least kind of held him, contained him in the pocket, which limited their ability to kill us with the pass game. All right, let's see here. This is a fun play. 11:55. Oh, it's this next play. Perfect. So it's a 1st and 10, ball on the 4-yard line. Okay, and I just like this use of motion right here that you see from Washington State.
Mhm.
Again, big fan of pre-snap motion. It just makes your defense have to think, make more decisions before the ball is snapped. See, they shift over that alignment a little bit, and they get this guy running here. And it's like an RPO screen type of thing. I don't know if this was like, supposed to always just be a handoff. But anyways, nonetheless, it was a nice little fake. They get this wide receiver running out there for the block. And, this is a decently executed screenplay. The receiver did his job on getting that one guy to miss. And that's really where Colorado's going to have to be sure on, on making sure that they're getting these. It looks like that was just a design fake. And making sure we wrap up early. We don't have a lot of, missed open field tackles or anything like that. That's going to
Hey,
have to be a focus with this offense.
run that back one more time.
Yeah.
Let's watch how that offensive line blocked this up. Guard. Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, they want to get this guy downfield.
Right, right, right.
Right
And
to the horizon.
I know a lot of people. Granted, I just don't. I hate them defending that way. I, I don't like how they defended that. Again, I guess overall they did a decent job. I guess the guy he didn't get out for very much, but I think Wisconsin could have brought a little more pressure.
Mhm.
In a lot of instances that we've showed up so far in this game that could have made him a little more frustrated. Now, I do believe that Charles Kelly, he's going to come with some heat.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come with a lot of heat on Cam Ward. Now,
I think this is an
granted,
offensive
it's a big
line that,
risk in that. It's a
yeah.
big risk in that, right? Because you can get beat big, which we've seen them do quite often. But I see Colorado being able to get some penetration against that offensive line.
I think so too.
Oh yeah,
I think so
oh yeah.
too. Yeah, this is going to be a fun matchup, I think, to watch. Obviously, on from the offensive standpoint, but also with CU's defense, I think that they can have success on these lines for sure. But speaking of pressure, Rawhide, let's move forward a little bit to 24 or 21-43, and this is an interception that is caused really from this really cool designed pressure look that they have. You see they're going empty here. And what happens here is that I don't know if he's a star or defensive back, but he times this rush really well. So they're actually still only bringing a 4-man pressure. They're dropping this end back in coverage, but it's timed well enough to where this right guard here isn't able to get over in time. And they got a free rusher on a 4-man rush, designed really well, executed well. They hit him as he's trying to hit this out,
Mhm.
so the ball isn't thrown nearly as powerful as it needs to be thrown. Defensive back drops back, ends up picking this thing off. The funny thing, though, is that this DB actually fumbles the ball, and I think Washington State gets it back. But nonetheless, like, this is kind of the stuff that you're talking about of, like, Charles Kelly bringing some heat or bringing some interesting, like, designed rush plays where even if they don't have a numbers advantage, like a 4-on-5 or anything like that, it's executed in a way to where it does provide them an advantage. Yeah, because there was just total miscommunication and misunderstanding of what was going on here.
How many times you seen Bailey do that?
We're used to it. Oh man, right? Just standing there. But yeah, this interception is caused by the pressure. Too bad the guy couldn't hold on to the ball, but I thought that was a pretty interesting rush right now. But getting back to Cam Ward, let's see. I think it was at the 24-54 look. This is again, like, why you have to contain Cam Ward, because even if you're able to break down that pocket, this man has a great scrambling ability. And again, another emphasis on open field tackling. Check out this touchdown here. So you only got like one down lineman here, but they're bringing pressure. They bring a 4-man rush. I think that initial read or whatever is covered up. And then you see the bull rush is able to collapse the pocket. But then this is where Cam Ward, he's at his best. Gets outside, has his outlet available, and then his running back just does the rest here where he makes the guy miss. And he's able to turn this all the way upfield for a touchdown. Like a really, turning nothing into a really big play. Just goes to show how important it is for us to make sure we tackle in the open field well. Because again,
Yep.
I think they did a good job on, where he has to do something other than his first read. He has to make a play. They just didn't make the last play they needed to make on defense. That was a tackle they should have had wrapped up.
But that play right there illustrates what I'm really afraid of coming into this game. His movement back there, his movement in the pocket. Colorado likes to play a lot of man. When you play man, you got your back turned to the quarterback. So that worries me a lot in this game. I'm afraid that this game could be a very high scoring one. Just about a lot of back and forth. I'm afraid of that. So, especially making one man miss, he could take it to the house.
No doubt.
So
No doubt.
I am extremely worried about that. And that play really illustrates what I'm really worried about.
Mm-hmm. He's a dynamic quarterback. That is evident. Now I got 3 more plays for us, Rawhide. And this, I want to illustrate the blocking scheme here is pretty interesting and stuff that I think we should be somewhat familiar with. Having watched our offense this year, maybe not always executed as we'd want, but yeah, 31-09. Okay, another numbers game. Check this out. They got this stacked look again on both sides of the line. Just 5 offensive linemen, no tight end, 10 personnel, and they're facing a 5-man box, which I'm hoping we don't give them no 5-man box. I don't want any of that.
There's gonna be some light boxes. Get prepared for.
Oh man, okay, I'll take your word for it. But you can see, like right here, I like this because it's 5-on-5, but they pull the linemen in a way in which, even though they kind of blow this up, the running back does a good job of still hitting that hole and then getting downfield. You can kind of see a better uh, better angle of it here of just this is some designed runs in terms of the blocking scheme in which I'm sure Colorado is studying and they need to be familiar with, but also with what they've seen from us in practice, they should be very familiar with having these guards pull and try and open up different holes that might not necessarily be there if they're just taking guys, man on man from the snap.
Those plays are go ahead and let that run, let that play.
Yeah.
Those plays are identical to what basically what Colorado runs right there.
Yeah.
But you know what usually happens if you go back when Colorado
Mm-hmm.
runs this play, he usually gets tackled.
Yes.
At that point.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then really honestly, that's why a lot of people don't like what's his name, Dylan Edwards. Because if you let that run go right here, you let that run. Usually when Dylan gets the handoff here, right? There is no breaking because that man that I think that was the tackle of the guard right there. I can't tell the number here. He's usually beat, and Dylan's on the ground. It's not about him being light. It's about all that penetration they got through.
Yeah.
But 76 was able to hold the block long enough for the man to get out.
Yep.
So I guess that's my argument, because I know I talk about a lot about that. I don't mind Dylan Edwards playing. I don't really care who's at the running back position. But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kind of go out on a tangent there. But I've seen a lot of lost plays similar to this one right here.
Yes, we've seen a lot of plays like this, and I think that there should be opportunity for us to have success against this. With our defensive line. But you make a great point, Rawhide, about this is something that we've seen happen far too often where this play, even though we're pulling guys, it's just blown up. And their running back makes a really good play here, and credit, to 76 for holding his block. I think with the next play, they run another draw or RPO here. You're facing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 linemen, 2 in the box, so 6. And then again, this is just their way of trying to get the numbers on their side, running this play to the left. See, they bring their right guard, right tackle over to the left, and this one hits for a nice gain. Everybody's blocked. Running back hits the hole well, and then almost makes that safety miss, but big time gain for 15 yards. So you can kind of see, like, when these plays are executed well, what they should look like in terms of pulling.
Ooh.
So you got 4 guys on 3.
Yep.
Or 4 guys on 4. My bad. I can't count.
Hey.
Look at that.
That was success. No, that looked good there. That looked good there. That was blocked up well, actually.
Yeah. I like that. And again, not the biggest hole, but good synergy. Good synergy on this play between the running back and the offensive line. Really great play. And then lastly, kind of like what these sorts of plays set up is for a different kind of look of an RPO. I think this is it. 33-16. Again, pretty much the same look that we saw in the last play, just another drive later. See, same look. They're pulling the right side of the line over to the left. So this edge guy here, he understands, oh man, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to blow this play up. But this time, Cam Ward reads, makes the right decision here, pulls that ball outside for a nice gain here. But the linebacker did a good job of making up that
yes, he did.
that distance. But this was designed and executed pretty well. The linebacker made just a really good play. But this kind of gets to why, like, if things aren't always successful off the bat in the first quarter, for instance, it's like why you still run certain looks so that way you can start, building off of them later in the game.
Facts. Yeah, facts. I, you know, I would like to see. I would like to see Shador do a little bit more of that. I know. I mean, people don't like to see him run, but I would love to see him use his legs a little bit more. I
Yeah,
mean,
and he did look
at
more
least,
mobile last week compared to Oregon
right.
State, you know?
Right. At least give the defense something to think about because usually on plays like the, yeah, usually he's pulling to throw. You
Yes.
know, so I would love. Oh, which guy? I would love to see him use his legs more. I'm sorry. Oh, I got somebody said some in the chat. Threw me off a little bit.
No worries.
But yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see him use his legs more. I think it also helps the offensive line.
No doubt. No doubt. Um, well, y'all, thanks for sticking with me through this. We'll let this run one more time through. Come on now. There we go. But nice little read, and I mean, great play by the linebacker. We're gonna need that sort of speed dealing with Cam Ward, and good weather is forecasted for Friday night. So again, I'm kind of expecting, along with you, Rawhide, more of a higher scoring affair. I think both teams will be in the 30s. That's kind of my prediction, but yeah, like overall, guys, I appreciate you coming in, taking a look at um, some of these plays with me. Again, biggest thing isn't we're not setting up a game plan or anything like that, but just take a look at certain tendencies, why certain plays are successful versus not. What the quarterback could be looking at, or the line could be looking at if they're facing a certain front or a certain rush. Those types of things. Just start to get yourself familiar a little bit um, with those things. I think, yeah.
I think, hey, what do you think about it? I mean, how would you attack, the things that you shown on there, watching how Wisconsin attacking from a defensive standpoint? What do you think that CU should do attacking this offense?
Well, I'm right there with you in terms of I think whenever you're getting more pressure on the quarterback, that's always better. Even if he's a big time threat with his arm or on the run. Again, um, you have to be a little careful. Maybe you are playing a spy a little bit more, but I agree with you, Rawhide. No 3-man rushes. I don't want to see any of that prevent style defense because, as we saw from one of those throws downfield, is that Cam Ward, man, he can make those accurate throws downfield. If you give him time, he can and will burn you. So I like the idea of getting pressure up front. And I think that this is a matchup in which we can have success against their running attack with 6 guys in the box, which should be helpful for our secondary because I mean they got athletes on the outside. It's a very similar team, in
Very.
terms of roster construction as a CU. They got athletes on the outside, and even if we are playing some man, like um, having more guys in the secondary back there where we're not stacking the box with like 7-8 guys, that should be helpful. But yeah, Big Worm's coming in here saying like a 4-4. That would be interesting. I just worry about their ability to burn us, with some of their speed outside. But I think you have to have success um, with a 6-man box, and you got to have success. I think, again, I know sometimes we get burned with this. We got burned against Stanford or whatever. in the second half on some plays like this. But I prefer press or closer coverage on wide receivers more so than off coverage. And I think we have the athletes to do it. But yeah, what do you think?
Just uh, I I don't know if Big Warren was serious or not about that 4-4, but I will say that even the deep whatever defense that Colorado does throw out there, which is generally a 4-2-5,
Yep.
most of the time I think that's the base they run out of. The
Mhm.
problem is that you got Trevor Woods playing linebacker, so you never really is in a 4-2-5. It's
Yeah.
more like a 4-1-6.
Yeah.
I mean, put putting saying you got playing another linebacker, but you got a DB that ain't a linebacker. That's a DB. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't. That's why I would like him to go back and put two linebackers actually on the field. Um, but in this game, I will say in this game, this is one of the better games they can play where I think the lack of linebacker play from playing, not as far as getting guys lined up correctly, but just to play on the field may not hurt them as bad.
Yeah.
Um, I don't. Washington State is not that physical. They're not a big physical team, and they don't actually run the ball. I mean, it's give you some perspective here. I don't even. Do they even have a 300-yard rusher? Here, let me take a look at that. But they
I
don't
think
rush.
Dylan Edwards has more rushing yards than they do.
Right, exactly. So I don't find, you can get away with that halfway 4-2-5 that they play with uh
With
Travis
Trevor.
Trevor Woods on the field. So this should be a game that's winnable. Oh, wait a minute. Big Worm says 4-4 will put our best uh no, I don't know about that. But I push back a little bit on that Big Worm. But playing Trevor Woods, I just don't think he can hurt the team in this game. Yeah, they the most rushing yards they got is the running back. He got 210 yards, right? He's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. So, bro, you can get with it. You can get with Trevor out there and be just fine. So
Yeah.
I ain't knocking
I think
Trevor. I see people saying I'm not. It's not a knock on Trevor. I'm just saying that with how Washington State plays football, not having two true linebackers on the field shouldn't hurt them that bad. I hope I
yeah.
cleaned that up.
No, no, it makes sense. And I think, yeah, you will see our defense have more success against the run than we had against Arizona. I think regardless of if you guys, want, I mean, I'd like to see more Demoy Kennedy, but I think it's pretty clear that um, we'll see Bentley out there a lot, and we'll see Trevor Woods out there a lot, at the linebacker positions. And they don't have an athlete like Coleman out there, nor an offensive line as good as Arizona's. So I think, yeah, even if we do see, which I think is likely, Trevor Woods out there in that 4-2-5, I think there's a lot of potential for us to still have success against the running
Oh yeah,
game. But yeah, this is going to be a really fun matchup. One that I think is definitely winnable. Again, both of these teams have lost against Stanford, and both of them have really good quarterbacks. I think we got the better quarterback. I think, I think there's some interesting looks. Again, there's still some more that Pat Shermer can build off of from last week, and I think my guess is that we probably see, some more wrinkles as part of that 11 personnel package that he brought in last week. Maybe we run some different looks with Shador under center. Heck, I mean, if we're running Shador under center, maybe we might see some pistol action, man. Give these running backs a little bit of assistance, man. Help them get
yeah.
some momentum going to the line,
Yes. Hey, did you not see that when they went under when Shador went under center, man? It made hey, bro. It was like Viagra for me. I was just like, oh my god, bro. It felt, bro. It was so invigorating. I was just like,
Yes.
bro, they had got me very, very excited. They went on the center, they run, got 8 yards, went on the center, went run, got another yard, got 3rd and 1, right back on the center. I'm thinking they're gonna go run and get the first down. They roll down and pass it. I said, oh, so they I said, oh. So they left me with blue footballs. You know, so
Ah!
I said footballs. I don't know. I said
Blue
footballs.
footballs.
Yeah,
Blue
football.
footballs. But
Yeah,
yeah, like, man, I felt the same way. It was nice to see those plays out there, but let's see a little bit more of them. Again, I think Pat Shermer, uh, he called a better game than what we've seen, in the previous handful of weeks. And hopefully we can see an improvement this week against. I know we didn't spend any time on the Washington State defense, but a very vulnerable defense in the Washington State defense. Yeah, this could be where Shador breaks the single season passing touchdowns record for CU. This could be the game. I think he'll get it where he eclipses the 3,200 passing yards on the year. So, I think that I feel very good about this matchup. There's a big potential to win, and it's probably just going to come down to this isn't rocket science, but who plays slightly more disciplined and who tackles better, who blocks, none of this is rocket science, but hopefully, man, we cut those penalties in half. Even if we got 6 or 7 penalties, that should be enough, I think, to get this win. If we were this close against Arizona having 11, 12 penalties, if we can just take those down a little bit, man, we should have a good chance to win this football game.
facts. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's going to be entertaining. Entertaining. It's on Friday night, unfortunately, but I think it's going to be an entertaining game for sure.
Man, no doubt, no doubt. Well, I got to get running, Rawhide. Thanks again for jumping in with me on
Oh
this.
man, I
I've
just
really
appreciate you
enjoyed it,
having me.
man.
No, I appreciate you having me, man. Oh, I really do. I think this is our first one we did like this, and
Yeah,
I think the second one would be there'll be a big improvement on the second one. So,
of course.
man, I appreciate it. Oh, as a
Well,
matter of fact, Utah. You know what I'm saying? Utah. We can get on that for sure.
well, man, I still got some other plays if we want to take a look at Wazoo's defense later this week. Again, slightly different with their new coordinator this year, but there could be some fun things to take a look at with that. So let's be sure to do that this week. But man, always love collaborating with you and everybody that's here that checked in. Really appreciate y'all doing that. Again, this is just time for us to take a little bit more detailed look during the week, and then we're always talking our mess and having our parties all throughout the week. So appreciate you
Facts.
guys tuning in. I'll be on here with Big Dog Chico here at 4 p.m. here in a couple hours. So please be sure to tune in for that. And as always, everybody, Sco Buffs.
Skull Buffs. We
All
on?
right.